We got a double dose of AEW tonight as both Dynamite and Collision ran on a Wednesday for 3 hours before Double or Nothing on Sunday. We got Darby Allin once again defending his AEW Men's World Championship, this time against Speedball Mike Bailey. We had Jon Moxley go up against Kyle O'Reilly in a Continental Championship Eliminator match. And we got some really bad news about Willow Nightingale that we'll get to in a minute. Let's get after it.
Uh-oh.
Yes, boy!
French Toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Fake. We can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Mark It Down podcast. My name is Nick Cummings, joined once again by James Sasanti as we are back not only to review AEW Dynamite, but AEW Collision as we got a big super show before the pay-per-view on Sunday. Between that and the NHL playoffs, Turner decided it was best to put everything tonight, and it was probably a decent idea. But
Thank God they didn't go tomorrow. We didn't want to piss off Carlos Silva.
Yeah, not again.
Not again.
But we're tired because it's late, and we've been sweating for the last 3 days because it's 95 degrees here in New York.
It's supposed to be in the 60s tomorrow, man. I'm so excited.
Some of us don't have our air conditioning units in yet. I put this one in today. But right, the rest of my house is 88 degrees. As we said, hello to Maria. How's it going? Appreciate you joining us, as always. We are going to start off by talking about the main event of the evening, which saw Darby Allin face off against Speedball Mike Bailey for the AEW Men's World Championship. But before we get into that, I just want to briefly run through some of the stuff they had teasing the match throughout the show. So the first thing we had for that was Darby Allin in a backstage interview with Renee Paquette, who asked him why he keeps taking these matches, despite how fun they've been for us. And Darby says that he feels everything and isn't numb to the pain like some people think. But Darby says he has no choice. It's the greatest feeling in the world to hold the world title. As for the hair versus title match coming up on Sunday, he says it is so important because taking the hair of the most vain man in the world will eat that man alive. And then Darby addresses Speedball, telling him that he is going to do whatever it takes to hold on to the title, and he wants Speedball to do the same. James, I'm going to go through these two quickly, but I know you were a very big fan of what Darby said here in this interview.
I appreciated it. So many times when you see a babyface, a fighting champion, they'll just say, oh, the fans, they're giving me the energy. How could I not? I got to do it. We're in so-and-so city tonight. How do I not give them a fight? No, he's saying, like, I am burning out right now. I am in trouble. But I have to do this. I can't not do it. And I really appreciate that. I think it humanizes him so much. It makes him so sympathetic. You gave me the stats a little while ago, and it's true. Compare Darby's title reign to Roman's title reign.
Oh, yeah. I sent that to you earlier, I think late last week. I'll pull it up, but go ahead.
We don't like always comparing here, guys, but like if you compare Darby's title reign to either Roman or Cody has held the title for 70 something days. One defense. Roman's held the title for a little over a month. One defense. Darby's held the title for about a month. How many?
So I have the stat, but I sent it last week. So I think he's currently at about 38 days, or maybe 37 days, give or take. 36. I can't math.
Yeah.
But I found this out. So I sent this on May 14th. So this was last Thursday, and I can probably update it on the fly. So Roman Reigns in the calendar year of 2023 had 5 title defenses. Yeah. Darby, after Dynamite last week, had 5 title defenses, and has since had 2 more. So he's up to 7 in about 36 days.
And I'm not saying every title reign should feel the same. I'm not saying that every world champion should be defending every week. World titles should have different DNAs to them. And I don't want to see the next world champion after Darby, whether it be MJF or a bull with horns. I don't want to see them defend the title on a week-to-week basis either. But there's just something so special about this title reign to me. We've been saying, he's going to have the Mick title reign. He's going to have the good old Mick Foley title reign. Mick didn't do this when Mick was champion.
Mick only had the title for like 8 days or something.
I think he won the title like a combined 3 times. And each title reign was very, very short. And he basically lost it right back to the person he won it from. Even if Darby does lose it back to MJF, my God, the run he had.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the Micker. As Maria has welcomed AEW Mick Foley. I'm so excited. Mick Foley. Yep. This Jack is going to be back on TV on Sunday. I'm very excited for that. No offense to him, but this Darby reign it's not a Mick reign. It is a Darby reign. And I think this promo really, to me, knocked it.
Yeah. I'm not going to do much better than that, so I'm going to move along. Although I want to shout out what Maria said, calling this a very long and entertaining show.
Yeah,
it was both. And say hello to Charles, saying that he loved the Vane line in Darby's interview.
What do we think? What do we think, guys? Is MJF the vainest man in the world? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. He's up there, maybe. I don't think MJF is the most vain person in the world.
No, it's Narcissus. That's where you get the word from.
Yeah.
Showing off my Greek literature over here. All right. A little later in the show, we had a backstage promo from Jet Speed. Kevin Knight says that they got the face of TNT, and he is standing next to the future AEW World Champion as they become the faces of AEW together, as they always planned. He then says that Bayley is going to go out there and win the title. And when he does, he tells Speedball not to forget about, quote-unquote, us little people, as he's going to want a shot at the title, which Speedball then agrees to. And then we get into our actual World Championship match. And before that even starts, MJF music hits, and he ends up coming out to the ring, and he joins commentary. And then that kind of distracted Darby a little bit because Speedball came out hot right out the gates. He drop-kicked Darby. Eventually, he was able to even hit a time adventure in the corner, and then he went and set up for the ultimate weapon before Darby rolled out of the way. And then there's far too many Harry Potter commercials on this fucking broadcast, okay? Give the kid a sock and let him leave. That is the only Harry Potter reference I can make. Anyway.
Oh, God.
Speedball continued to keep the pressure up until Darby was able to hit a scorpion death drop on the barricade as we headed into commercial. A bit later in the match, after countering a coffin drop with basically a fucking code breaker, just catching Darby out of midair with his knees, Bayley set up for the ultimate weapon again, but Darby rolled out of the way, and Bayley landed on his knees as he came down. Darby then went up top and hit a coffin drop, but as Darby went for the pin, MJF jumped off a commentary, and he put Bayley's foot onto the rope to break up the pinfall. And then that prompted Kevin Knight to come out to ringside, which I found a little funny because, yes, MJF did interfere in the match, but it's very clear he would be interfering on Speedball's side. So think, Knight, think.
What are you doing? See, it made me think. I don't want to get into it. Finish up, and then I'll say what's going to.
It's a stupid small thing, but I was just like, come on. Anyway, Bayley then went on the offensive, and he was able to hit another time adventure, but Darby kicked that out again. And then the two started going back and forth. Eventually, they started going back and forth with some pinning combinations until Darby comes out of one, holding on to Speedball's neck, and he is able to hit the Scorpion Death Drop. Darby then locked Speedball into a Scorpion Death Lock, but Bayley made it to the ropes, so Darby quickly headed up to the top and hit a Coffin Drop, and then immediately got back in the Scorpion Death Lock. And despite a very valiant effort, Speedball is unable to make it back to the ropes, and he is forced to tap out. Now, There's a whole lot that happened after this, so I completely separated it.
Yeah, no, it's two different things.
Because I want to talk about, James, what Maria called a wild, action-packed match, because I think that is a phenomenal description.
I mean, we've been saying it week in, week out. Darby's defenses have been incredible. They've all felt unique. They've all felt like they've had their own identity. And this match goes right with it. Shocker. Speedball Mike Bailey was one half of a great match, right? Oh my God, didn't see that coming.
In other news, water makes things wet.
Water is wet.
No, water makes things wet.
Both. It's both. That's the crazy thing. It's both, and I will.
The official Twitter account of Water said it makes things wet.
Yeah, because we believe everything we read on Twitter.
No, this is back when it was Twitter. Not
fine. Either way, we'll deal with this later. I very much enjoyed this matchup. I love it's so interesting now because it does. We've talked about this a little bit, and I know our comment section has had its own feelings on this. Darby has just flawlessly integrated Sting's moveset into his own. The Scorpion Death Drop, the Scorpion Death Lock. They don't feel like, oh, wow, look at that callback Darby's doing. No, they feel essential to his moveset in setting things up for bigger things. He goes from the Scorpion, like last week, he went from the Scorpion Deathlock into the coffin drop on to Takeshita. What happened?
No, I keep thinking of this water wet thing, and all I can think of is Zoolander. No. I'm thinking of Zoolander, where he's just like moisture is the essence of wetness, and it's all I'm just waiting for you to finish talking, and I couldn't keep it together.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, it's late. I'm a little delirious.
I get it.
Staring at three screens for the last 3 hours, trying to get the show together.
We'll power through together. So, like, I love that it feels so natural. Like, Darby was getting out of pin attempts and setting up for the Scorpion Death Drop. Like, that's fun. That's a great way of just feeling smooth and natural. And I love it. I loved seeing it. MJF interfering to try and help Speed. Are you still on the wetness?
Yes.
My God.
I love Zoolander, man. It's one of my favorite movies.
It is a good movie. But not
just
the sequel.
It's just a stupid line.
MJF helping Speedball makes sense. It makes sense. He will do anything. It's not about costing Darby the title. It's about making sure Darby doesn't get to Sunday, so he doesn't have to worry about his hair.
Yeah,
I think it's a great bit. The Kevin Knight stuff. You and I have been so convinced that Kevin Knight was going to turn heel sooner than later. We're going to see a split between Jet Speed. And you know what? Maybe it will happen. But quite frankly, they're doing everything in their power to make us feel like it's not going to happen.
Right?
Like, he was so supportive in that promo earlier.
Yeah, and it was a very fine line of supportive and patronizing that I think it works where if they do turn one of them heel, especially because we consider it's going to be Knight, or we think it is because Speedball is such a good babyface, that, you know, if they do turn Knight heel, he can just be like, yeah, I was just patronizing you the whole time. And if they do end up turning Speedball heel, he can say, what's up, Fernando? He wouldn't say that. He would say, fuck you, you've been patronizing me this entire time while I'm out here losing, and you're out here with the TNT Championship, never giving me a shot at it or whatever, you know?
So, but when he came out to sort of get in the way of MJF, and it's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing? It's like, oh, is this it? Like, does he not actually want Speedball to win? So he's annoyed that MJF did it.
Yeah.
But they didn't build on that at all. So I don't know anymore. Either way, Fernando, you're hurting me, man. I was just hyping it up so beautifully.
Yeah, I love Fernando is saying that Darby doesn't apply any of Sting's moves correctly when James just had a great, 3-minute soliloquy, slightly interrupted by me, about how he does.
I think he's nailing it. This is what I'll say. Darby hits the Scorpion Death Lock in honor of Sting better than The Rock does the sharpshooter in honor of Owen Hart. I think that's fair. He's just a little guy. It's hard. I thought the finish was fine. I thought the finish was good. Again, it's one of those things. He's going. He made him tap, right? He made him tap with the.
Yes, he did tap,
and that came after hitting a coffin drop while he was on his stomach. Not on his stomach, but he was facing down.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was a back-to-back coffin.
So again, we had the inverse of last week's finish, and I think it works. And to me, it shows how well he's integrated these moves into his moveset. Like, it's a perfect 1-2 punch to the other. Yeah. So I really enjoyed the match. I think these two are great individually, and I think they did great together. And I'm obviously super invested in the main event with Darby and MJF, but I'm equally as excited for the future of Jet Speed.
Yeah, I am as well. I think that, they obviously have a very bright future. Speedball is surprisingly young considering how long I feel like he's been around, or at least I've been hearing about him. And we know Knight is incredibly young. So they obviously have a very bright future, not just because of their age, it's because how well they have integrated into this roster and how well they're being pushed. To your point about the finish, too, both last week's and this week's, when Darby does that, when he is... somebody gets to the ropes or they kick out or whatever it is, and he scrambles up to the top rope to hit another coffin drop. He's rabid in those moments because he knows he has his opponent and he's got to put them down, and he wants to do it as quickly as possible because he knows he needs more strikes than other people in order to put somebody away. So whether it's hitting consecutive coffin drops as quickly as possible or stringing those together with death drops and death locks, however he's doing it, he just does it at such a pace. It's smooth, but it's still so fast that obviously his opponent has absolutely zero time to recover, and you end up with a fantastic finish. All right, let's see. After that,
comments here.
Oh, we do have some comments. All right, my bad. Let's see. Fernando still hating on Darby, saying they do look like callbacks, and he likes the Rock Sharpshooter a lot better.
All right. I like the Rock Sharpshooter. We are in a vast minority on people who like the Rock Sharpshooter.
I never hated it, but I don't know.
It's not one of the better sharpshooters.
I don't have enough of an opinion of watching Rock matches to be like, oh, I'm a big Rock Sharpshooter fan. I've seen 10.
The thing is, he's too big. He's too big for that move.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? He tapped out Hulk Hogan with it technically. I know that wasn't in the match, but Hogan did tap to it.
That is true.
He beat Andre the Giant with that move. Charles saying AEW made us engage with the title match despite the non-typical stipulation with the tremendous Darby match defenses of the title, as he reminds us of his exceptional in-ring elite wrestling. And I think that's a good point, too. Yeah. Part of the build to this MJF match isn't just the hair aspect of it. That's kind of like the Darby versus MJF aspect. There is the whole other aspect of just Darby as champion. And, his amazing title defenses, him showing us how good his in-ring work is, despite the fact, he has had a match or two where he's taken some crazy-ass bumps. The Pac one at Fairway, at the one Saturday, which I didn't get to see all of, but him and Sammy apparently, put on a classic Darby and Sammy match. Yeah. So I think you have a good point to that, too, where Darby is showing that and is basically out there killing himself 2 times a week defending this title, which makes for a very interesting story come Sunday. I would say hello to Derek. What's up, dude? I hope this Sunday on the Double or Nothing buy-in, we get Bowens and Shibata against Claudio and Garcia after Bowens got involved in Will's match tonight, and he's excited Mick Foley will be there. I think there's a very good potential we get some combination of Shibata and Bowens versus Death Riders in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It seems to make a lot of sense.
Just to get more people on the card, and they're very clearly hyping up the buy-in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very possible. Nope. No. I'm a little offended that we just went to the next Canadian.
Just so Kenny needs to be the one to turn heel, keep Speedball up your baby face forever, like Ricky Steamboat.
I mean, I'm fine with that part.
Yeah, the second half, Kenny can turn heel in the future. It's just not. I don't think it's going to happen right now.
I agree.
He's working too well as a babyface at the moment. He just came back from his illness. It's going to take a lot to unfortunately, to turn him. Derek, did you guys hear about? Yes, I did. About AEW Brawl in the Ballpark. There was a video of Jeff Jarrett attacking Darius Martin with a guitar, and Satin Singh was there. I didn't think this happened yet. I thought they just announced it was happening. And
that's where I was too. So maybe it just happened, or maybe maybe this was part of like a press like hype up thing that they.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Especially because
I don't know.
Top Flight is from Minnesota. I don't know if they're from Minneapolis proper, but they are from Minnesota. And this is happening at the Twins ballpark. Don't ask me what this is called. I still think they play in the old Metrodome.
Did you see the very cool like hat mask thing that they're putting out?
I was about to talk about that. Yeah.
I want that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think the craziest part about this is they're having it after a 7:10 local time game.
Yeah.
So games end at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Like they're not going to start that show till 10.
Yeah.
So I hope people stick around and watch. It looks like it's going to be fun. I would love to go, but I am not.
Oh, it did happen. It did
happen.
It happened during the Minnesota Twins game last night.
Oh, I thought the tickets were until like later.
We'll look into it in a bit. But wow, there was not a lot of build up to it, but I was hyped for it. I was intrigued.
Yeah, because they were talking about it on Dynamite tonight.
Yeah.
So let's see. Fernando saying that he can't wait till the weekend for this annoying title reign to end once and for all.
You know it's been good. You know it's been good. You could not like Darby, but the matches have been good. Come on. All right, moving on to post-match.
Yeah, so after the match, MJF got so upset because he's so concerned about Sunday that he actually walked into the crowd towards the edge of the bowl, and Kevin Knight grabbed the mic. Knight told Speedball to keep his head up as he gave Darby the fight of his life, telling Bayley he's proud of him and the way he fought the champ tonight. Knight then addresses Darby, saying we haven't seen a champion like him in AEW, putting his body on the line to prove that AEW is where the best wrestle. Knight tells Darby it's up to him to humble MJF's arrogant ass, shaving him bald and sending him back to Turkey looking like a dirty eraser. Darby can't let the Jet down or the people down, and when he beats MJF, Knight says he and Speedball will be there for him. Knight and Speedball then leave after Darby and Bayley shake hands, and then that allows MJF to sneak back into the ring and blindside Darby as he tries to say something. And then he beats him down and then poses with the title and then gets up on the ropes and accidentally poses, probably not accidentally, but kayfabe accidentally poses in front of a bunch of people holding up signs that spell out bald, which will be in the hype package on Sunday. I guarantee it. MJF then gives Taz his watch to hold.
Later, pal.
Have a good night, Derek. I know
relax.
It's late.
Yeah, enjoy, and we'll see you. We'll try to see you soon.
Yep. All right. So as I was saying, MJF then gave Taz his watch to hold on to it, and he went under the ring to grab hair clippers, and he attempted to use them not to shave Darby's head, but to cut his head open. However, Darby was able to fight back and he grabbed the clippers himself, attempting to get to MJF's hair before Sunday, but Max was able to escape and scrambled up the ramp. And then we went to Excalibur cutting promo. So yeah, it was good. I thought Knight was pretty good here. Knight's kind of like swerve in a way where he doesn't have the cleanest promo, but he's very genuine when he's talking. Yeah. So I really liked what we got out of Knight here. And then I liked the little back and forth with the Clippers.
Yeah, no, I thought that was really good. I did find it just funny. We'll be there for you. Immediately aren't there for him. Yeah. Immediately don't come back to help him.
Yeah, it's not their fault. I mean, they were in the back, but
they literally.
He did say after. Leaving. He said after, though.
I know. I thought it was funny. The Clipper stuff was very good. I've been to a lot of stuff as a wrestling fan. I've seen a lot of things live. I've only ever been to one hair match.
Yeah. Is this technically a lucha de apuestas?
I mean, anytime anything but other than a title is on the line, technically it is. But either way, I'm very excited. I really want him to lose now just because it's going to be so fun in person.
MJF.
What's going to bum me out is if they do like the fake out and like he runs away and they don't do it until Dynamite on Wednesday. Like that's going to bum me out.
Nah, that'd be lame.
Yeah.
I don't think they do that. Fernando asking if any of us are going to Double or Nothing. James and I both are. And it's, in fact, most of the pod, even though they're not always on said pod, are actually going.
Matt will be with us officially, by the way. Didn't get to tell you that. Danny, who you guys haven't seen in a long time. Eric, who you guys haven't seen in a long time. My family, Rev's family.
We got a squad. We got like 12 tickets or something.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. If anybody's going, let us know. Bump into us. Say hi. It's actually happened to us before, and it is super trippy.
Yeah. James isn't used to being that famous.
Never.
Charles asking if we get into the press conference. No, we're going as fans. We are. We don't have the cred, the street cred to get the press conference.
By all means, that is definitely your cue to share us with your friends. Get other people to subscribe to us. Get our numbers up so we can go to these things and bring you with us.
Yeah.
Okay?
We can get press passes. Be great.
Yeah, but we love what we've got with you guys now. But yeah, do it. Spread the love.
All right. So that was all the stuff with Darby. Where do you want to go next? Top of the show, Willow.
Top of the show. Like, it was a fun show. It was a fun show. I'd say the first hour was by far the strongest hour of the three. But it was just there was a lot of fun up until Collision.
Yeah. Actually, really quick, because Maria brought it up, I did want to ask your thoughts officially about Mick Foley joining the Double or Nothing pre-show and seemingly joining AEW. I believe he's going to be on Dynamite next Wednesday as well.
So first things first, good on Mick. Mick is standing by his principles. He's standing by his conviction. He left WWE for very specific reasons, and he said it. He said it out loud. He said it out loud why he was leaving WWE. He didn't agree with some of their choices beyond the wrestling aspect of the company. So he left, and now here he is. He's here in AEW. It honestly feels like something that should have happened years ago. And I'm really, really hoping for promos with him. I know he's teased his biggest dream, what his retirement match wanted to be, was MJF. I don't think we're going to ever get another match from the Micker, but I would love to see a promo battle between these two New Yorkers. I would love to see these two going at it. I think Mick has so much to offer a guy like Darby. I would love some acknowledgement of that on Sunday. Wow, he had the Mick Foley title reign. Talk about it. I think that's cool. So love Mick, love to see him involved with this company, love to see what he can offer this company. And I think he still does have a lot he can offer. So I'm all in, no pun intended, on Mick Foley being part of AEW in whatever capacity. In his own words, when he shared it on social media, he was like, Mick Foley is all elite. Now, maybe that's not true. Maybe it's not official that he's all elite, but I'll take it. If he's interested and he's excited, let it happen.
Yeah, and there are plenty of guys who were all elite and haven't stepped in the ring. I think Mark Henry was all elite and he never wrestled.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for it for a lot of the reasons you mentioned. The MJF, promo possibilities are so tantalizing, especially considering they had planned out a couple of weeks of television.
I think they mentioned it was like 8 weeks of TV, maybe.
Yeah, and then Mick went to his doctor, and his doctor's like, you could, but you're probably not going to walk again after. Mick was like, you know what? I could barely walk now. So it was probably a good move by him, but that's very tantalizing. I know a lot of people online want him to be like Uncle Mick, who lives next door to the Conglomeration. I'm very excited for that. Him and Briscoe interacting. Unfortunately, him and Willow won't be interacting unless she decides to, stick around even while she's hurt. I would stick around just to have that Mick Foley interaction, to be honest, especially because she's from Long Island. Him and Orange, like that whole thing would be great. So I really hope that happens. And I'm excited, to see how he does on the pre-show. I mean, we're unfortunately not going to be able to watch it live, Maybe we'll try to watch it back, or I'll try to watch it back sometime next week. But I think he's going to do a good job. He's still very good on television when he gets interviewed and stuff. And it seems to me like he keeps up with the product. So I think he's going to do a good job.
I think so too. Well put.
Yeah. A lot of the guys are very hyped about it in the chat. Charles saying it's a great addition. Fernando calling this fire news. Maria saying, please stay out of the wrestling ring, Mick. I don't think he would do anything more than like get punched and fall over. But
so I'm
even
gonna
then,
at WrestleMania weekend, he dropped a gnarly elbow on the invisible stand.
Oh, was it the Sandman match?
Yes. So I think he can drop an elbow.
Wow, surprised he did that.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Charles saying it seems like he witnessed the fuck ice chants and may want to do something with Brody King as well.
Maybe.
That'd be fun.
We're going to be experiencing that really like for the first time.
Yeah. See if it happens. It is Queens. Fernando saying Mr. Sacco inside the mouth of Darby would be fire. I think inside the mouth of MJF would be better.
Yes. Yeah.
And Charles saying just to see him is going to be elite. Yeah, honestly, we're going to see him probably just standing there. I hope we get some sort of introduction for him before they go on air. Like, a lot of times what they do with the announcers, they'll give them their music. I really hope Mick gets one. I know they don't do that a lot in AEW, but God deserves it.
I mean, like, JR gets music.
Yeah. Like Tony coming out at some point. It might even be after the show. Tony coming out, like, all hopped up and announcing Mick Foley before the show starts. Sounds like something Tony would do.
Yeah.
Okay. Really quick. Hang on. Let me just change the banner here. Because we don't go on changes. I found the Brawl in the Ballpark stuff.
Okay.
So the proper one is on July 10th at Target Field. They did the announcements at the field, as Darius was saying, where it was.
No, we totally acknowledge the first one. I don't know if you saw us, man, but we hope you have a great night and we hope you have a great weekend too. Enjoy the pay-per-view and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, enjoy Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget that is this weekend. So,
oh my God, yeah.
Why do you think I'm wearing the Wade Boggs jersey? R.I.P. So they had the thing right at Target Field. That's what it's called, and they had the kids there, Darius and Dante Martin, private party. Jesus, Nick, Top Flight, and they were doing the interview, and all of a sudden, Darius turns his head and he gets El Kabonged by Jeff Jarrett, who then cut a promo with Saturn. So it's up on Instagram for the Twins, I think. Yeah, the Twins and AEW put one up together if you want to check that out. I'm sure it's a good one. I'm going to check it out after the show, but it looks like fun. All right, let's go to the top of the show. Seems like
actually, let's hit one thing. Let's talk about Willow.
Okay, so about halfway through the show of Dynamite, Willow cut a backstage promo. She started off by saying that winning the TBS championship was one of the greatest moments of her career, which has had no shortage of great moments, running down some of the other ones. Winning the TBS championship the first time, winning the tag titles, becoming the inaugural champs, winning the Owen, stuff like that. But she says winning the title back from Mercedes proved to herself that she's one of the best. And then she went on to defend the title against all comers 10 times, actually. But there is one problem, though. In her title defense against Red Velvet, she injured her shoulder. So she will have to withdraw from the Owen Hart tournament, and meaning she won't be able to compete in front of her family at Double or Nothing. Even worse, she's being forced to relinquish the TBS championship. She's proud of her 10 title defenses and that she was able to call herself the face of TBS. And when she returns with the smile on her face, she'll head straight back to the top. So, James, this really sucks. It sucks for her, obviously. Like I mentioned, I think on Blue Sky, I was like, this sucks long-term in terms of her title reign. I was really enjoying what she was doing with it. And it sucks that she's missing out on a pay-per-view right next to where she grew up. Yeah. She was a Long Island girl. This is obviously in Queens. Yeah.
To wrestle in front of her family.
Yeah, that is, it's tough. And as fans, it's tough for us too. Like I said, she's so much fun. Watching her on TV is always really, really good. So tough blow here, I think, for AEW as a whole.
We love Willow so much. She was one of the cornerstones of the women's division this last year plus, in my opinion. She's been really carrying the division in a lot of ways. And that's not a knock on Thekla, who's also just absolutely hitting it out of the park with pretty much every swing.
Different type of carrying. It's different when for a heel versus a
face. But what I mean is, like, in their respective spots, they are absolutely nailing it.
Yeah.
And they're absolutely making, like, their TV time worth watching.
Yeah, especially with Toni Storm out.
Yeah. So I'm bummed for Willow. Like, we had talked about it, that I was ready for Willow to drop a title, and then she did drop the tag titles, but I wasn't like, I didn't want Willow to go away, you know? I am very out the gate. I'm sad for Willow. I'm sad for AEW's women's division. I'm sad for AEW, and I'm sad for me, who enjoys watching Willow.
Yeah, I was hyped for that match on Sunday.
Me too. And now I am intrigued as to who the wild card is going to be. I think it's going to be a tall order to fill that spot and make it exciting.
Yeah, and we'll get to that more in a second. I wanted to just kind of focus on Willow for one moment, and we're going to talk about that because like I said, I really wanted to watch this match. I'm bummed. I'm really bummed. Willow's one of my favorite wrestlers on the planet, honestly. She kind of replaced that, like, Hugger Bailey-sized hole.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And, you know, and she was always a little bit – she had more of an edge to her, obviously, and, you know, than the one that they tried to give Bailey with a kendo stick, which we don't talk about.
Yep.
But
didn't happen.
You know, but, like, she was always, like, just Willow's bubbly persona ever since the first time I saw her the night before the first Full Gear in Jersey. I'm like, Willow is awesome. And then I found out she was from Long Island. And I was like, all right, I'm all in. And she has delivered all the time. And I think, like I said, with Toni out, you're probably losing the second biggest babyface you've had in your division, arguably ever. Maybe not ever, but at least since post-pandemic. And it's a serious blow to the division, man. It's gonna suck.
She said it's her shoulder. Shoulder injuries can range from very minor to very serious.
Yeah.
The fact that she had to relinquish the title means it's probably leaning more towards the serious side. But who knows? You know, maybe it's just she's gone for 3 months, which sucks, but 3 months might be a good little break for her, and people will come back. She'll come back, and people will be ravenous and excited. You know, super, super excited. So let's see. God willing, they are able to turn chicken shit into chicken salad. But bummer all around, and wish her the best. Wish her a speedy, speedy recovery.
Yeah, I'm just quickly looking for any news of her, but whoa, holy shit!
What? Oh God!
Lulu Kaiser got arrested on.
I didn't want to mention it.
Wow.
Yeah, terrible timing. Terrible time. Like, I saw somebody compare this to RVD getting arrested with weed after becoming WWE champion in terms of bad timing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on Willow at the moment, but that sucks. But just to run through the comments here from everyone, Fernando saying this really sucks for Willow.
Yes.
Charles, the faces are all gone now on the women's side. First Toni. Excuse me, I'm getting all choked up about it. First Toni, then Willow. Fernando echoing that sentiment. No, Toni Storm is bad enough, but now Willow also gone hurts a lot. Charles saying that she should come back. Killer Mode was awesome and added to some talks about the next ones. Maria saying, I think Willow is not hurt, as she claims she just heard the CEO is returning soon and decided to vacate the TBS title instead of just losing it to her straight up. The CEO would have fought through the injury and kept winning.
That is a pretty magical ability that you have, Maria.
Yeah, to turn everything Willow related into, or TBS title related into Mercedes related. I was actually a little nervous there at the beginning that this was a work.
Yeah.
Because she was like, too. Oh, I'm not competing in the Owen. And then she said she had to drop the title. I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. But the mention of Mercedes does offer up the second half of this conversation, which is the wild card replacement in the women's Owen Hart tournaments. A lot of options here, James. I think obviously the first one that came to mind for me was the aforementioned Mercedes Monet. Because
I did too.
Yeah. I was under the impression that she would be in this tournament, go on, win, and then win the women's world title at All In. but then she wasn't theirs, which is why I initially thought this was a work.
It's weird because, like, I'm not super into the concept, and I don't know why I'm not, but I'm not super into the concept of her just coming back for the tournament and automatically going to the main event for All In. I guess I shouldn't have a problem with it because, like, I don't have a problem with surprise returns at the Royal Rumble. You know, like, I'm John Cena guy. When he came back and won in 08, like, that's probably like my all-time Cena moment, probably. I don't know. I want her to be back. I'm not super opposed to it. And especially, I guess there is time between the end of the tournament and All In to really, like, give more time to her. But I don't know. I wish that there was a better way to have brought her back, if it is her.
All right, just I was running through Reddit still to try to find an update on Willow, but I figured I got a small list of options here from somebody on Reddit _Quendra _. So you got Mercedes. You can go Megan Bayne or Lena Cross. You can go Chris Statlander, Harley Cameron, Julia Hart, Red Velvet, considering she was the last person to face Willow, Deonna Purrazzo, Rio, or Nyla Rose. I don't know if Nyla's coming back anytime soon, but
where is Nyla?
I have no earthly idea. I hope she's doing well, but
yeah, I hope she is too. Let me say, I am actually very on board for Red Velvet. I didn't get to cover it on Friday, and I am very sorry about it, guys. But I did watch the ROH pay-per-view. I did watch Supercard. And Velvet might be my surprise of the night in terms of how good she has gotten since coming back, becoming the Ring of Honor Women's Television Champion again, all of that. She is wow good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow good. I liked her before. I tip my hat to her right now because of how good she has gotten in the ring. And I think, like, I'm not saying she should win the tournament by any stretch, but if she got into the tournament and won the first round, Windsor, I'd be okay with it. That's how good she's gotten.
Yeah, I might pull the tournament back up just so I remember, because I know Windsor is.
So Sunday at Double or Nothing, we're getting Mina versus Athena. We were supposed to get Willow versus Windsor, but that's not happening, and now it's a wild card.
Right.
We have.
I got the other head. It's Persephone versus Zuki, which is on the same side as Windsor.
Yeah.
And then Sky Blue and Saray.
Yes.
Which I'm still super hyped that's the tournament. But
I'm bummed that it's not happening on Sunday.
Yeah.
That would have been that would have been fun.
I still don't know if the wild card is going to be on Double or Nothing, because they did update the AEW website and they've removed the graphic from that part of the bracket. So that could change the scheduling a little bit. But
they changed it that it is officially now going to be Athena Mina on Sunday.
Oh, they did? Yes. That's the one going to be on Sunday. I just saying the Windsor one's not going to be on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening on Sunday anymore.
Yeah, Red Velvet I think is a great choice, especially because I do think if Windsor is moving on here, then you're in good shape. But it really depends on who you had making the finals. If Willow was somebody who was going to make the finals, because I think I said on that side of the bracket, the winner of Willow and Windsor goes on to the finals.
Yeah.
If it was going to be Willow, you screws everything up now. So you really got to find out who. I also saw somebody say Yuka Sakazaki, which I would adore because we haven't seen her in forever.
I don't think they're going to go that hard on the Joshis, though.
I know. It'd be fun.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I don't think they are.
Well, Takeshita will be in town, so, it works out. She might be there, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of different options. Excited to see who they end up picking, and really excited for that tournament just because it seems so wide open.
Yeah.
Just some other things here. Charles responding to Maria saying, losing to Mercedes would have been disappointing, but a tremendous match as they always offer up classics, pay-per-view level quality. That is true. Every Mercedes and Willow match has been great.
Yep.
Some other things. Athena would be awesome as the TBS champ. She's just good, dude. I get why she's still the Ring of Honor champ.
I was so annoyed on Friday. It knocked me. Like, it was the final nail in the coffin for me not to cover the show. I was like,
I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot. I was like, oh yeah, of course she's champ. Like, it didn't even register in my head that was Friday because I meant to watch it and didn't, but I heard good things. And I was just like, didn't even register that Athena won again.
So her goal now is she's trying to. So she just surpassed Bruno's second world title reign. Yep.
Yeah.
She just surpassed his second world title reign. She is very close to surpassing Roman Reigns' title reign, like the one that like the tribal chief title reign.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to happen. I think she's going to surpass that, and then who knows from there. But dude, it like. I love Athena. You know I love Athena. I was so taken out when she retained on Friday. I was so bummed.
I'm hoping to get a chance to watch this, but just think, who ate the pin? Please don't say it was Billy.
No, but Billy kind of got like not betrayed, but used by her. And then after the match, like there was some serious tension. But I'm at a point, Billy should not be the one to beat her. She has lost. This is now her third loss. And granted, this wasn't a singles match, but this was her third failed attempt. It should not be her. It needs to be someone else.
Yeah, just a big question of who. It's tough, it's tough to beat somebody when they've had the title that long. You need to build somebody up a la Cody. And, they haven't really done that there just yet.
It's almost like AEW has such a full women's division and women that go down to Ring of Honor that maybe just get one of the AEW women to do it. Maybe.
Whoever you use is going to be made, so you got to be smart about it.
Yeah.
Charles, in regards to Athena, saying can't wait to see her entrance at the pay-per-view. She always puts a lot of thought into it. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm pretty excited to see that. Charles also saying Athena was prone to injury, so maybe Tony Khan, as he prioritizes non-injury prone wrestlers, didn't for her. But she's proven good so far. Yeah, I maybe didn't trust her there for a little bit, I think, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
And yeah, that does happen sometimes with the wrestlers, but Athena obviously has been an Iron Woman lately, so I think she all good. All right, now top of the card.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, we covered a few segments. We did.
And we covered one that wasn't even on the show. So,
yeah.
Okay, we start the show with Chris Jericho and the Young Bucks. They were off by some lighthouse because Maine. And they were the bunch of talking about their history with Jericho, referencing him being one of the founding fathers of AEW, but them also competing against him and the Inner Circle in the first Stadium Stampede. And then Nick kind of got upset with Jericho about him beating their dad's ass. And Jericho apologized for all of it, saying he's excited to be tagging with the Bucks for the first time. I think he said in AEW. I don't know if he said...
No, he said ever, which is not true.
He said ever. I know at least for a fact it's the first time they're tagging on land.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. And he hopes to slow water under the bridge now. The Bucks agree to move on, and they look ahead to their trios match tonight, where the Bucks of Jericho are going to kick ass. And then Jericho's like, that's what we're going with. It's not Y2 Jackson. And just completely doing the old BTE bit.
It felt like 2020 again, 2019 again.
Oh, dude, that was like 2018. They were still in Japan when all that shit happened.
Oh, God.
So it was probably even earlier. I didn't like 2016. But
no, it was not that early.
Maybe that early. All right. Time is a flat circle. Anyway, they decide that it should be both one team, one team, two names. So then that leads into our opening contest, which saw the Bucks of Jericho, or is it Y2 Jackson, face off against the team of Andrade El Ídolo and Mark Davis of the Don Callis family and Ricochet of the Demand. We had that carny piece of shit, Don Callis, on commentary. The Bucks and Jericho had matching ring jackets, which was pretty cool. And this was a weird stat or weird fact that Excalibur threw out. It's the first time Jericho and Andrade have ever shared a ring together.
That feels so weird, but I mean, right? I guess it makes sense.
I guess there wasn't a whole lot of crossover in WWE. There hasn't really been any in AEW. Yeah, right. Nothing in Japan. Just nothing in Mexico. Very, very strange.
Yeah,
but it worked out.
Yeah.
So I jump, I think, a little bit towards the end here. Andrade got hit with both a super kick party and a code breaker combo, and Ricochet broke that up. And then later in the match, towards the end, he got hit with a BTE trigger. Ricochet broke that one up with a Rico assault. And then that led to Jericho and Ricochet fighting to the outside, and they fought up on on the barricade next to the timekeeper's area, and then put each other through the timekeeper's table. Back in the ring, Andrade accidentally took out Mark Davis with that kick feint back elbow combo, and then he got hit with another BTE trigger, and this time he was able to kick out. And then the Bucks started to set up for the Melcher driver, and here's where things start to go off the rails. Davis grabbed his grabbed his steel chair and began to distract the referee, who I believe was Aubrey Edwards.
Yes.
And that allowed the dogs to come down. Clark Connors took out Nick Jackson with a spear, I think, and then Dave Finlay jumped in the ring and hit Matt in the head with his shillelagh. And then Andrade, who was already up in the position for the tombstone, just literally fell on top of the dead weight that was Matt Jackson into the cover and pinned him for the win.
Yep.
After the match, the beatdown immediately begins with Davis and the dog, and then Toa Leona came out to help with the beatdown. And then he got confronted by Jack Perry, who came out with a bag of onions.
Yeah.
And
what was that?
I don't know. I mean, look, I've held a bag of onions. They're heavy. They seem like they'd be pretty hard. And if you hit somebody in the head, you'd think it would hurt. But he hit a Samoan in the head, so it didn't do anything. And Leona no-sold it, and then just kicked the shit out of Jack.
I'm not gonna lie. It kind of felt like a hate crime in some way. It kind of felt like he was doing something inappropriate. And I don't know why. I really don't know why.
It's like you're just like weirdly stereotyping him, even though it probably has nothing to do with his culture.
God.
Anyway, the Hurt Syndicate then came down to hurt people, and everyone was just brawling all over the place throughout the arena. And eventually that kind of just really ended up with Bobby, Lashley, and Leona in the ring one-on-one, where Bobby was able to win that fight, hitting a spear, and he drove Leona from the ring, and that allowed Team Jericho to kind of hold it. Although, honestly, I only saw Bobby, one of the Bucks, and Jericho in the ring, and I don't know where the hell everyone else was because they were just all still brawling. So, fun match, James. Once again, the Bucks with their kind of crazy PWG match. Not as crazy as normal or as last week, but a good triple threat to help set up for Stadium Stampede, and a good aftermath, too, to do the same thing.
I had a lot of fun with it. I was actually really surprised by how many chances they took in this match, because you're doing it right before the pay-per-view. Like the table spot, with Ricochet and Jericho, that was a big one. And I know table spots are generally safe, but they still had to go a distance for that.
And it was a double table. They did the double table too, which I think makes it a little bit safer, but even then.
But still, I was just like, wow, they're doing that. Jericho was jumping off the top rope to the outside. I'm like, you guys have a fucking pay-per-view on Sunday. Be careful.
It's pre-tape. I think they'll be okay.
I know. Well, not all of it. I guarantee you, not all of it. Some of it's going to happen in the middle, in the arena.
I think the finish will be in the arena. But like I mentioned, there's so much fun areas to fight in at Billie Jean King that I think they'll do about half pre-tape and half.
And that'd be cool. Beyond that, I really loved. Like, I was shocked Andrade kicked out of the BTE trigger. Like, that was a big moment, it felt like.
Especially as the third finisher he'd take it.
Yeah. Like, they're really doing a lot to build him up. And not to go on a little bit of a tangent here, so I apologize, but I'm sure maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm sure you saw the MJF interview with Ariel Helwani.
I saw the clips.
So you saw the comments about Malachi Black.
Yes.
Like, it's very clear. Unless they are working the shit out of us and he's coming back and he's going to be gunning for people like MJF, which I don't think is the case, it's just very clear he is not wanted. He is like persona non grata. And that was very clearly his doing. as unfortunate as it is, because we like Malachi Black. We think he's a great worker. We wanted good things for him no matter where he went. It's just, it seems like he was his own worst enemy in AEW. Now, you flip that with Andrade, who has gone back and forth between the two companies to a point that I don't know the actual number. And he's being booked so well here. It just shows that as long as you handle business like businessmen or business people and you treat people with respect, there's always room for forgiveness and there's always room to make money and get things right the next time.
Just look at the Hurt Syndicate and Jericho.
Yeah. There's a little more to that one, but
no, I know. Yes. I'm just screwing around because, they handle business. It's just business.
Did you see in our group chat, by the way, who I have as like an outside guy for who'd be perfect for the Hurt business? The Hurt
yes, I did.
The Hurt Syndicate. I think he'd be perfect. But anyway, I'm really happy for Andrade. It feels like obviously the face turn is coming. It's a matter of if he's going to leave when Takeshita leaves. That's really, I think, what they're building towards. But who knows? Really. Oh, what up, Grant? You were at the show tonight, I think. I didn't even read your comment, but I hope you had a good time.
Yep. We'll get to the comment in a con. Yeah, just.
But yeah, I'm really happy for him. I don't know if a title is in his future. It feels like it is. I don't know what title, but I mean, he's got the IWGP Global title, which he took from Yota Tsuji. That's a big win. That's big. That's a big title to have. That the IWGP Global title has the same lineage as I think the US title and maybe the Intercontinental title. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, they got a little goofy there for a little while. So
either way, congratulations to him on that. And I'm hoping for more in AEW. So this was a lot of fun. The post-match was fun for what it was. I gave it a 0 out of 10, though, because of no Kenny. And no Bishop Khan.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah. I mean, you said it right. I don't think we're going to try to alienate some of our viewers right now, but yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah, I made a crack about not wanting to go to Maine.
But yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a lot of fun and a great way to start the show.
Yeah, I thought so as well. Really got the crowd hyped up. I mean, you play the Bucks entrance and then put Judas on right after it. The crowd's going to be fucking excited. So it's not really that difficult there. And just to your point on Andrade, he did have his problems there in AEW for a little bit because he did one out and then he realized this is the dumb way to do it. I don't know who got in his ear, but he turned it around. He decided he was not only willing to do business, but he apologized to everybody. And, he went out on a great run in the C2. A great run.
Yep.
And everyone was like, man, it really sucks he's leaving now. Like, he's so good in AEW. Went over back to WWE. Things didn't work out there. He was able to get his release. And he comes, or they released him, whatever it was. And he comes back. And he has to wait a little while. And then he finally comes back, full time. And he's been great since. So, like you said, if you do business right, usually you get rewarded. Don't burn bridges. It's not worth it. Usually. Some notes here. Fernando had one last note on Athena. Nothing against Athena, but her still being the ROH Women's Champ is ridiculous. She needs to move on to bigger and better things. No one is going to remember this reign in a few years. It's Ring of Honor. Nobody cares. I will disagree with the back half of that sentence. I do understand where you're coming from with her still being the Ring of Honor Women's Champion. But word is that she really enjoys being in Ring of Honor. It works a lot better for her schedule and how she wants to, kind of live her life. And I guess as long as she's there, Tony's just like, she's my biggest star in basically the whole company in terms of Ring of Honor. They might as well leave the title on her. So
I agree with Fernando to a point. Like, this would hit harder if this was the AEW women's title. I think undeniably.
Yeah.
More eyes would have been on it. It would just feel a little bit more. But it is what it is. Like, it doesn't take away from how great it was. I'm just at a point that I think she's actively holding back the women in Ring of Honor right now. Like, I feel bad saying it, but it's like nobody's getting over. There are women that are just spinning their wheels down there.
Yeah. I could see that. And especially, a lot of them are like young and up and coming because Tony uses that as a bit of a feeder system. Yeah. So, yeah, you could, like I said, when she does lose, whoever gets put over is going to have a rocket strapped to them. So,
big time.
You got to pick right.
Big time.
Charles going to kick out of 2 names, 1 team. That was good. Maria with a phenomenal pun here. Connors is the diamond in the rough of the dogs. And he really is. B, he is good. Some of his spears are nasty.
I've been enjoying him since New Japan, and when I heard he was coming over, I had no grasp on we were going to get the dogs. Gabe Kidd was still like, yeah, he's here, but he's not really here. I was just happy he was coming over. And I agree, like, he's definitely the unsung hero of that trio. Like, obviously Finley is the leader. Gabe Kidd is sort of like the standout because of the year he had last year. Yeah. But Connors is very, very reliable and very, very fun to watch. I would love to see him develop more not on his own, like separate from the group, but I would love to see him individually start to shine.
Yeah, and he already has a lot of good character work. I mean, even in their entrance, when they have that side angle of them coming out of the heel side of the tunnel, and he's just always kicking some random person in the head, and he's like, yeah, that's how we do here at the dogs. And he starts barking into the camera and stuff. Like he is effortlessly cool.
Yeah.
Which is no surprise considering who he's with. So he's a really, really cool guy, and I love watching him in the ring. Like I said, he's got a great spears. Yeah. We're even comparing him, calling him the Fletcher of the crew.
Ooh, high praise. High praise.
Comparison. Charles, big fan of their finish.
Yeah,
it
is good.
And Charles also reminding us, yes, the New Japan Global Champ is indeed Andrade. So. Yeah, I'm curious to see who he ends up facing at Forbidden Door. I'm assuming that's going to be a match.
I could see it being Tsuji again and him dropping it back, or just maybe one of them, but we'll see.
Yep, should be fun. And let's get to Grant's comment. What's going on, dude? From the show, so a bit late here, just got back to the hotel from attending Dynamite. IDK how it came off on TV, but it was a fun event in person. 12 matches across 3 hours and 45 minutes. It started feeling a bit long by the tag title match. Maybe it didn't need 3 dark matches, but it was still fun. And yeah, I agree. I think that's usually the consensus when you're coming off one of these big, these double cards here when you have Collision after Dynamite. It's a lot, and you guys came off great in the crowd.
Yeah,
especially in the early portions, even up and through the Ospreay match. You guys came across great on TV. I can understand why you started losing a little steam thereafter. You had 2 squash matches and some promos, and then you had the main event. And I can understand why you'd be pretty shot by the end of it. But I'm glad you had fun. As for the dark matches, it's why they're on early. You can get there late. Yeah. It's just the Ring of Honor tapings, and Tony's got to do them at some point.
Was it just Ring of Honor tapings? Because I thought they taped down in Florida now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They have been doing that. I forgot. Maybe they weren't.
I think they were just straight up dark matches.
Oh, cool. Still fun, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun, after we had all the Darby Allin interview stuff, we went to our next match. We saw Mark Briscoe take on Tommaso Ciampa in an anything goes match. So first and foremost, of course, Briscoe's Conglomeration backpack is a trash can. He basically just glued a backpack strap onto the can.
Right? I didn't understand how it happened. That had to be it. Either they drilled it in or they glued it on, but either way, just wow.
It was perfect. Okay, so instead of going through everything here, I'm just going to read off a list of the weapons I was able to see during the match. So we started off with the trash can, and then in the trash can was a rat trap that clamped Ciampa's hand as he went into there. We had a mop, a chain that Ciampa used to wrap around Briscoe's neck and pull him off the top rope to send him through a table on the floor. Cheese grater.
Yep, that was a rough one.
Briscoe's head. Yep.
That was a rough one.
A fire extinguisher. And then Briscoe pulled out a table, some barbed wire, and a staple gun. Stapled the barbed wire to the table until Ciampa got him because he was taking too long, and then used both the barbed wire and the staple gun on Briscoe's forehead. And he stapled some of Excalibur's papers to Briscoe's forehead, which remained in his head for a while. A ladder that Briscoe got suplexed through, a thumbtack-laden kneecap that Ciampa used, a Phillips head screwdriver. That's just the list I got. And obviously, tables and chairs as well. Eventually, Ciampa was able to land that knee strike with the thumbtacks, but instead of pinning Briscoe, he decided he had to go, try to kill him again. So he set up a couple of chairs, seat to seat, and tried to bring Ciampa up to the second rope for the Psycho Driller. But Briscoe was able to fight out of it, kind of left Ciampa sitting up on the ropes, turned the chairs back to back, went back over the ropes, and sent Ciampa back first from the turnbuckles onto the tops of the chairs. Ow. Briscoe then capitalized quickly. He hit a Dre Driller from the apron through the barbed wire table, rolled Ciampa back into the ring, and then hit the Froggy Bow for the exclamation point and the win. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention that during commercial, Ciampa pulled out a stuffed chicken from underneath the ring and started beating the shit out of it with a chair.
As one does.
Yes.
As one does.
Well, Briscoe is the chicken guy. But, James, This was an awesome, bloody plunder match. Yes. And I don't know if you saw the tweet from Mark earlier. I believe this was the 26th anniversary of the Briscoes. And this felt like a pretty solid tribute to me from Mark and Tommaso.
No, absolutely. I mean it when I say this. There isn't a wrestling day that goes by where I don't miss Jay Briscoe, and I don't think about what could have been and what should have been. He's very the match itself was great. It was so much fun. I'm gonna ask you a real question here. Have you ever cheese grated yourself?
I got close, but I've never cut my finger doing it.
I've done it purposely before, and it
just to see how it felt.
Yep.
Brother, you should go to therapy.
Look, I've done a lot of dumb shit. Like, I know a lot of people think I'm well put together, and for the most part, I am. But when it comes to stupid wrestling stuff, I will take anything.
Isn't that a line in Johnny Cash's Hurt? I cheese grated myself just to see how it felt.
At the very least, maybe Joaquin Phoenix sung it in the movie. I don't know. It's rough, bro. And it did not look like they were gimmicking that cheese grater. It looked like it was legit. I personally think that they hit so much in this match that was so fun that arguably they didn't need to do. Like, you could have did the safe chair spot. You didn't need to put it rim first or like back up first. Like, he could land on the seat of the freaking chair. Nope, not what they wanted to do. I thought it was a lot of fun. I've mentioned to you before, I'm a little bummed that it feels like Ciampa is sort of being placed in a certain spot of he can beat certain guys, but not other guys. Like, he's not going to be the main eventer that we would like him to be. Yeah, he's already beaten Mark, but it would have been nice if he could have, solidified that a little bit here.
I think he beat Mark twice.
I know he beat Mark for the title.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. I believe you.
It might have been the trios match with FTR.
Maybe.
They made a point. They made a point of it that Ciampa had pinned him twice.
Gotcha. No, I got to look back, but overall, it would have been nice to see Ciampa get a big win. Either way, I do love and appreciate how much Mark needed to do to put him down. It was like a 1-2-3 punch. He did the chair spot. He put him through the table on the outside, and then he did the froggy bow.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, okay, like he just easily put him down. Like, no, they went to war. So if you're going to beat a guy, that's a good way to protect him. So what?
No, I'm just like I wouldn't have been able to move after the chair spot.
I know.
Mark was like, nope, more.
more, like Kylo Ren.
Yeah. More.
I really enjoyed this match. We kind of joked about it before we went live that I was like, it really felt like tonight was a night of all the stuff we can't put on the pay-per-view. Let's put it on this show.
Yeah. And that's what go-home shows are for.
Yep. That this match in particular felt like it. So really, really a fan.
Yeah. I absolutely love this match. I feel like we hadn't had a really bloody match like the crazy match like this in a while. So
yeah,
it was nice to see again.
Yeah.
Fernando calling it fire. Maria thought it was an excellent match, except the chicken spot. I like the chicken spot. I thought
it was silly and it didn't take up too much of the match. I enjoyed it. Like I thought it was fun.
Yeah. Maria asking if you were on acid when you did the cheese grater thing.
I am just really dumb. I will one up you. I will one up you. Myself, I guess. I once had to put out a cigar and I just did it in my palm. No scar though.
Just negotiating against yourself here.
I'm not trying to hide what I am or who I am. I know exactly what this is.
I've done some dumb shit, but never to hurt myself.
I like I'm not doing it to hurt myself. Like the cheese grater thing was just like, I mean, let's see. How bad could it be? And then it was bad. I didn't do it long. Like, I wasn't going like this. Like, I just did like a little bit. And I was like, that fucking hurt.
Did you do your arm or?
Yeah, I did it like right on my hand. Yeah.
Oh, because you did this. I was like, please tell me you didn't do
No, I said I didn't do that. I said I didn't do that. Yeah.
All right. Still banana lands. An update from Grant here about the show. He said they had the Ring of Honor apron set up for the dark matches. So maybe it was ROH. Yeah, they usually film some of it while they're out, and then like if they want to use AEW people, and then they have a lot of like the Ring of Honor people who are always on Ring of Honor. They stay down in Florida and tape down there.
Yeah.
Charles saying he was surprised by the pay-per-view quality of the match on free TV. Welcome to AEW, bud. My favorite part about the show. And Maria's saying that you might be a cry for help.
I'm okay. I am in my 30s. My 20s were for being silly.
Yeah. And confirmed. All right. So after that, we went to commercial. We came back, and it was supposed to be a in-ring interview with Swerve Strickland. So Tony Schiavone's out there, and he's trying to introduce Swerve, but he gets interrupted by Prince Nana, who says that Tony looks like an old substitute teacher who's trying to keep a bunch of fools under control, and he kicks Tony out of the ring. And then Nana then introduces Swerve, but Swerve gets attacked by Bandito as he's walking down to the ring, and the two start brawling. Bandito gets the upper hand early. He hit a tope con hilo and then sent Swerve into the steps. And then as he was going to attack Swerve again, Prince Nana came up behind Bandito with a chair, and Bandito saw him and then went after Nana. And that allows Swerve to kick out the back of Bandito's knee and then gets him back in the ring. Swerve takes the chair and tries to hit a vertebreaker into the chair on Bandito. But Bandito counters that and hits him with the good old one-arm gorilla press. And then Bandito set up the chair in the spot where he can 21-plex Swerve into it. But as Bandito made his run, Swerve was able to recover, and he tossed the chair at Bandito, who was able to deflect it. And then Bandito took the chair, and Swerve decided to bail out and wait for Sunday.
So context for those who might not understand why things got so physical, so aggressively tonight. Swerve, who obviously has been calling out Bandito for the last several weeks. There was that fun vignette where he went through the town and everything.
So good.
Swerve attacked Bandito after his successful title defense on Friday against Blake Christian. And it was pretty brutal, and he really laid into him, and he left him down. So this was Bandito getting revenge for Friday.
They also mentioned on commentary, like, Swerve has said he's trying to, like, end Bandito's career.
Yeah. So. I wish that they had sort of maybe shown any footage from that night. I wish that they had acknowledged more of that night, but I don't understand. But regardless,
it's not like they didn't have enough time.
Seriously. So yeah, I'm really surprised he's still the Ring of Honor champion. Like, not that I was clamoring for Blake Christian to win it, although he's really been earning his keep in ROH. But I'm just surprised. Like, either have him drop it or have him versus Swerve for it.
Yeah. But, side note, I'm kind of high on the Swirl. I like them.
Oh, you too? No,
yeah.
I really do too. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. By the way, don't know if you know this. Dalton Castle and the Outrunners won the Ring of Honor 6-man tag championship.
I saw. I'm hyped.
Yeah, that was
somebody said put Foley with them too. I was like, yes.
I would love
Let him be one of the
boys. No, let him be one of the boys.
Oh, he would do that too, just for fun. But him just talking to the Outrunners about the good old days would be hilarious.
Yes.
Maria calling Swerve versus Bandito an amazing feud, or it's going to be an amazing feud, and I do hope it goes past this one match on Sunday.
Yeah,
especially if it ends up being for the ROH Championship. I think that would be great.
I agree.
All right. Following that, we had everything that happened with Willow, which is again unfortunate, which is actually understating it. I'm devastated. And then we went on to our next match. We saw Jon Moxley face off against Kyle O'Reilly for the AEW, or in an AEW Continental Championship Eliminator match.
Boy, am I hella conflicted.
Holy shit, did they beat the hell out of each other.
They really did.
So Moxley attacked the hell out of Kyle's midsection because he injured his ribs, and Kyle battled back by going after Moxley's left leg in order to set up for that ankle lock that he has successfully used against Moxley in the past. I'm going to jump to the end here. So we hit a minute to go. Moxley and O'Reilly are just in the middle of the ring trading strikes, and then O'Reilly is able to get the ankle lock in. I accidentally missed how, which is my bad. And then he dropped down to wrench it in even further, again, which is how he made Moxley tap out twice. However, because this happened with so little time left, Moxley was able to hold out, and the bell rang for the time limit draw. Now, obviously, nobody wins, but Kyle does get a shot at the Continental Championship proper, and he doesn't really care because he grabbed the mic after the match, saying he's not satisfied and says he's not the one who survived here tonight. It was Moxley who survived him. And then Kyle says he now has a legitimate claim to the title, but when he gets a shot, he wants no time limit, so Moxley has no excuses, and there will be nowhere for him to escape. Yeah. So I liked this match. It was
I did too.
Slower, but because it was so damn hard at hitting and incredibly technical that these guys are going to be bruised to hell tonight, maybe even through on Sunday, which is when this rematch is going to take place.
Yes.
Also, side note, I had this.
You thought it was going to go to a draw?
Oh, I went. The second I saw that there was an eliminator match tonight, I go time limit draw. They're running it back at the
well. So let's talk about a couple things here. Mox went into tonight 9-0 in eliminator matches.
Yep.
So
now he's 9-0-1.
Now he's 9-0-1, and that's big. That is very big. That is a feather in Kyle's cap, no matter what.
Yep.
We had kind of talked about this last week that we were saying it's a bummer that there's just no heat going into this, considering the feud that they had before Kyle had to leave. And I just don't think they're able to recapture it. And I stand by that to a degree. Like, I don't think there's the same buzz, the same heat as where we left it. But I do think tonight went the distance in trying to get us there.
Yeah.
We're close, I'd say. We're not there, but we're close. And I am very, very excited for the match on Sunday. I'm also very, very worried. I am going to be really annoyed if Kyle has 2 wins and a time limit draw and then loses the title match. Because it just doesn't mean anything. Like, you know how we all joke, like the joke is, do you remember when Carl Anderson beat Okada in the G1?
Yeah, G1 hoot.
Yeah. Like, I don't want Kyle's big career accomplishment to be, do you remember when he beat Jon Moxley twice in non-title matches? Like, I want to hear Kyle O'Reilly, Continental champion. Roderick got to be international champion. Adam got to be TNT champion. I'd like for Kyle to have a singles title in AEW.
Yeah, and I don't know if that happens on Sunday, but I get where you're coming from. But that's sometimes how AEW does things. Like, they'll build up somebody and not that I think you really need to build up Kyle fucking O'Reilly, but you build up somebody by having them beat the champ in non-title situations, and then they go for the title, and the champ's like usually able to squeak one out just barely. You know, I could easily see this being something where Moxley figures out the ankle lock and is able to counter it either into some sort of pinfall or submission of his own and force Kyle probably to pass out.
Yeah.
You know, because that's usually the storyline here with the Death Riders. You know, and we got that promo from Mox later that I can talk about if you want to do that now. But
yes, I would like to.
Yeah, so I think that's probably what you're going to end up seeing. As for the that promo, we had Renee actually interview Moxley, which you don't see too much.
Political bias.
Conflict of interest. But she asked Mox about the match with Kyle and asks how things are going to be different on Sunday, considering there's no time limit. And Moxley says she's acting like this should be some sort of moral victory, but they don't make up things to celebrate. Mox actually thanks O'Reilly profusely for what he has done, saying he thanks you for tapping me out and thanks him for pushing and forcing Moxley to become better, since he just seems to not be able to beat Kyle. And he says that Kyle might have tapped him out twice, but he asks if he can do it a third time when he goes double or nothing. Or will the house finally win? Mox closes out by calling this game 7 and asks when championships are on the line, when the game is on the line, does he miss? And then he walks away.
Yeah.
So obviously great promo from Mox.
Oh, I thought so too.
I think you're right. Between the match and this promo, you didn't recapture all of the momentum the two of them had, but I think you got a lot of it going.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Comments are a thing we do here on the show. Because there was a few of them. Charles, harkening back to the Swerve stuff, saying it was just good to see Swerve, and not too bad. It was a short segment.
I'm going to disagree a little bit, Charles, because I saw a little too much of Nana. I got the full moon from Nana, and I don't know why they didn't black out the screen, but that was my night.
I'm glad I missed that. Maria says that Foley should bring back the Dark Order. That'd be fun. Fernando agreeing with us that we need some sort of Mick Foley, Mark Briscoe segment. We definitely do. Charles saying that Kyle looked like a Death Rider OG in the ring, like he's a founding father as he's mastered the grappling style hard. And
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I think that's why Kyle works so well while facing the Death Riders, because he is the type of guy who does the same shit they do. Yeah. He trains that hard. He knows, the different disciplines. He strikes really well. He's just a goofball, but he does both. So it ends up working out, and his chemistry with Moxley has been unbelievable. See, Charles saying the main event scene is too full. Mox going for it seems too soon, and I'm assuming that he means dropping the Continental and moving on up back to go for the world title. And I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't have him go for the world title soon. I do think that there is something to Mox versus Ospreay for the world title at some point.
Yeah, assuming Ospreay wins it. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Maria making a good point here. Some history. Shelton Benjamin owned Triple H when he wasn't world champ, was never actually able to beat him as champion.
And I think that kind of proves my point a little bit. Like, yes, I remember watching that Monday Night Raw when Shelton Benjamin rolled up Triple H and got the upset win. I don't want that to be Kyle, though. Like, that is Shelton's greatest accomplishment. It sucks to say.
Shelton's greatest accomplishment is eating that super kick when he jumped across the ring. I think that's the biggest gripe everyone always has with Shelton Benjamin. He was able to do the craziest shit, and he never really got the accolades he should have.
Yeah. And I don't want that for Kyle. I don't. Shelton should have been world champion. Kyle should be a champion.
Yeah.
So
Shelton had the ECW World Championship, right? The WWE ECW World Champion?
I don't know. Maybe.
Wait,
I'll look that up.
Who did Vince beat for it? When Durag Vince beat for it? Wasn't it Shelton?
You're having a Vince moment your own way. Like, it was Bobby.
Oh, it was Bobby. Fuck me. Wrong Hart Syndicate guy.
That was a Michael Tarver. Oh, thanks, Shelton. Moment.
My bad. Well, I didn't watch WWE ECW.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, but now you had me thinking, was Shelton a fucking ECW champion? I don't think so. I know he won the Intercontinental title. I know he won the US title, I think once. And multi-time tag team champion.
Let's see. Charles saying Death Riders versus Conglomeration for sure for the trios titles if Mox retains. Yeah, they've been weirdly beefing with the Conglomeration and the Death Rider, not the Death Rider, excuse me, the Ops.
Yeah.
And occasionally the Don Callis family.
And now FTR.
Yeah. Charles enjoyed your full moon joke.
I did not enjoy it myself.
Maria thinks Kyle should win.
I'd be happy to see him win. I'd be very happy to see him win.
Saying we are not Bobby Lashley. And I'm assuming that's what she means. And Mox versus Ospreay champ would be a must-watch match. What a feud that would be.
Yeah.
We already had it a little bit. Now we're just doing this part.
But now it would almost be like there's no hate to it. It's simply who's better. And I think that's a fun world title match.
Like I said, I think what you're going to end up happening is that, and that's like Will's graduation from the Death Riders, you know?
Yeah.
Grant saying there was a Scotty 2 Hottie segment at the end of the show. No, that was just something for the local audience. We did not get that.
Though.
Yeah, we did not get that on TV.
Hope you had a good time with it.
Yeah, no, sounds like Grant had a great time at the show. I'm glad you did, dude. I'm excited for Sunday.
Yep.
All right, we got to move on to our next segments here. We had a quick backstage promo from Roosh called Darby Allin, saying if Darby survives the week, he wants a shot at the title because you know why.
Can I say, because we got it twice tonight, that Bull Horns line is getting real old real fast.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Oh, Grant saying Cope and Christian brought him out and he did the worm.
That's fun. That's fun. Yeah, no, we did not get that.
That sounds great. Gotta send the crowd home happy, especially after an FTR. I kind of figured Cope and Cage would come out after the show ended, at least for us, and probably run FTR off. And then I didn't think they'd bring out Scotty 2 Hottie, though.
Can we acknowledge that Scotty's got to be in his 50s hitting the worm? God bless.
I never know how to react when a 40-year-old man does a cabbage patch. All right, next up we had our women's trios match. It was Mina, Shirakawa, Thunder Rosa. It was a eight tag. And the Brawling Birds facing off against Athena and the Triangle of Madness. To jump to the end here, Mina and Athena took each other out on the outside. Basically, Mina hit Athena with a DDT, but she was pretty shot, so that was the end of that. That left it 3-on-3. Thekla blind tagged herself in as Skye and Rosa were battling. Skye went for code blue on Rosa, but the Birds grabbed her legs and pulled her out of the ring, hit her with 2 forearms, and then combined for a lariat leg sweep combo to take Skye out. Back in the ring, Thekla tried to bring her title into the match, but she got caught by referee Mike Posey. And as he was distracted, Julia Hart snuck in from behind, spun Thunder around, sprayed her with the mist, and then Thekla just tossed the belt aside and immediately rolled up Thunder to pick up the dub.
Well, let's acknowledge how she blasted her with that mist, because that shit got on the mat, got on the referee's shirt, got everywhere, and she still got Thunder too.
Yeah, she's packing quite a bit there. So this was a good match. It was fine. Like really didn't see a lot of it. I don't know if it was commercial or I was distracted. I was actually distracted. It was the last 3 minutes of the PWHL finals, and Montreal was about to win. So I got a little distracted. At least I got distracted by women's sports during the women's match. But from what I did see, this was fun. Oh, yeah, Chris. Hey, what's up, Chris? Very hyped that Julia Hart getting involved in the finish there.
I think she was great. She was great.
And obviously, James, this was just to set up for the women's 4-way match on Sunday.
First, great question from Charles here. Does the mist equal a heel turn for Thunder? I mean, historically, people who get misted do sort of go through some type of shift of some sort.
At least in AEW.
Yeah, in AEW. I'd be cool with it because, for the love of God, Thunder has been spinning her wheels for years at this point.
Yeah. Charles thinks would be cool. Or Persephone, who got misted as well.
And we're waiting to hear on that, too.
Yeah, we'll see what she looks like. come the Owen, she's obviously in the tournament.
Yeah, and we kind of have said that we think Persephone will work better as a heel. Beyond that, I thought the match was fun for what it was. Again, it was just sort of let's get as many people on the card as possible kind of matches, which isn't a bad thing. It was cool to see the AEW Women's Champion and the Ring of Honor Women's Champion on the same team. I thought that was fun. And yeah, I felt bad Mina's entrance kind of got cut short a little bit. I thought that was a little funny. And I made a mental note that I thought to myself, if you're going to miss anybody on the good guy team, Thunder is the best person to do it to because it's just going to blend into her paint anyway. The ref wouldn't notice. The ref wouldn't have no idea. So I was like, that worked. Yeah, fun matchup. And I'm excited to see Thekla is in the Fatal 4-Way on Sunday. It's her, Stat, Shida, and Hayter.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really cool to see all these women get active and big. I not just saying it for Chris Leclerc's benefit. It was nice to see Julia be so involved in the finish.
Yeah, he was hyped with every woman in this match. I think he put 16. I think there was only 8. It was 4-on-4. But I get what you're saying. And Maria agreeing that heel Thunder is a good idea. I think you're right.
It's necessary at this point.
She could use a shift.
Yeah,
she could indeed use a shift. I do have to jump back. I did accidentally skip something, but it kind of works because it also involves the 4-way match on Sunday, and that was the backstage interview with Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. Now, Renee tried to ask them about the news concerning Willow, and Stat began to answer and actually say nice things when Shida just cut her off straight up and said something about the champ in Japanese. Now, I don't know what it was. I probably should have looked it up. My bad. But then she went back to English and turned her attention to the 4-way match on Sunday, saying that they're going to go in and walk out of there with the championship. And because of that, she says they'll also be keeping an eye on Yoan, saying they have their eyes on the whole division, adjusting both her glasses and Stats. And Stat got a little annoyed by this and turned and cut Shida off, grabbed her by the lapels, and told Shida just to make sure that she watched her back before storming off. And then Shida was like, all right, women in the Own, fight hard. And Renee was like, and she was like, right, Renee? And Renee was like, yeah, sure. So, I something guys took from Elsie Laughland on Blue Sky. She goes, did Shida go to Okada's school of how to be a little shit? And honestly, I think that is the best encapsulation of Shida's new character that I have seen.
Yeah, I loved it because it felt so clear that she's being such a passive aggressive shit about everything. And it's better because her English delivery made it sound so wooden.
Yep.
Oh, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And I really hope that they just lock in on the heel turn.
Yeah.
Like, I know she's a heel. I know she is in everything but confirmation. But I hope they just confirm it as soon as possible.
It's like the reverse Brett, but with speaking.
Yeah.
She's the heel in her home country or in her home language, and the face in America. Chris thinks that Thekla is going to retain. I do as well.
I think so too.
Yeah, there's just too many moving parts in this match for her not to. Maria suggesting Skye Blue out of the triangle, Thunder in. I don't know. I think that we could do the Thunder heel turn, but I don't know if she joins the Triangle of Madness.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And I think Julia and Skye are working really well with Thekla because they gel, and it allows the Julia and Skye to really continue to learn how to do things. Their wrestling has gotten really, really good, but I think more Skye than Julia, but they do still need some more promo work before they go out on their own properly, and Thekla gives them the opportunity to continue to work on that.
Yeah.
Charles saying, rediscovering Shida's persona with this new gimmick. She is really funny. People didn't really see that, because she played such a serious character back in the day. But now she gets to kind of have a good time with this bit. Chris asking, who's going to win the TBS championship?
That's a great question.
That is something we did not discuss during our Willow segment because I forgot.
I mean, I think we got so distracted about A, her being gone, and B, the void it's left in the Owen. Yeah. I would like to see it be someone who could really use a little bit of a push. Like, I'm not even saying I have someone in mind. I think someone who needs a little bit of shine. Thunder would be someone that fits that bill. I'm not saying it should be Thunder.
Yeah.
But someone like Thunder who needs something.
She works Harley, maybe.
I love Harley. I wouldn't give her a singles title yet.
Fair enough. Chris is obviously suggesting Skye.
Yeah. That's fair.
I think maybe the reason we really didn't discuss it earlier, and the reason why it probably won't come up at least for a minute, is just like the immediateness of it as compared to the Owen. The Owen is like right now. The TBS can wait a beat, you know. Tony's still probably scrambling to figure out who the wild card is, let alone what he's going to set up in order to declare a new TBS champion, whether it's, you know, a casino gauntlet, which would be awesome, or another tournament, which I doubt he wants to do, or battle royal, or like a bladder, whatever it is. Tony's got to figure that out. So it's going to take a hot minute. Chris also saying Mercedes could come back and win it again.
No. She's got to go right to the world title.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's the only reason I'm saying why she should win something. It should be.
I'll be real. I'd be happy with it being Mina.
Yeah, Mina would be fun. Like, there's some good options.
Yeah.
Charles saying Thunder would be cool. She's a day one. She's like a day two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Because she was NWA champ when she first showed up.
Yeah. She was like day 1.5. She showed up early, was still with NWA. And
Daly's place.
Yeah.
She's Daly's place.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to who did she have a match with? Was it Deeb or Rio or somebody? It was like a pay-per-view, and I think it was the last match on the pre-show.
I don't remember.
And it was a big deal that she was on there. Yeah, it was something like that. I'd have to look that up.
Gotcha. Yeah, Chris, it's a very real possibility.
Yeah, wild card being Mercedes. Yeah, that's something we talked about. But if it is her, she wins.
Yes.
And I still weirdly think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
All right, that was everything we had to do for Dynamite, because after all, this was stuff we already talked about, including the main events.
Not a bad one, Maria. Queen Aminata.
Ooh, yeah, she could be fun as well. That's
cool
definitely somebody, like James was saying, could use some shine. Yeah. If not Mercedes, of course. It's implied, Maria. It's implied. All right, after all the Darby stuff, we kicked off Dynamite in earnest with Will Ospreay versus Katsuyori Shibata. Before the entrance, we saw the Death Riders in the back hyping them up. And then we had Renee give us the name of his new flying armbar, which he is calling Death's Round, based on that promo that Moxley had last week. James doesn't like it.
It's so edgy.
She also reminded us that Shibata has never tapped out. I don't know if that's an AEW or ever, but still an interesting stat. Anyway, to jump to the end here, as Ospreay was setting up for the Hidden Blade, Anthony Bowens came out to distract him, and that allowed Shibata to actually nail Ospreay with a Hidden Blade of his own. And boy, did he fucking nail him.
He really did. That was stiff.
Yeah, and Ospreay was able to kick out of that. That prompted Claudio to send Marina from their spot in the crowd to chase Bowens off. Now, I didn't realize, but the Death Riders, I don't know if they were there the whole time or they came out when they saw Bowens, but they were in the crowd, in the corners, ready to jump in.
Very ready. Very ready. I would love to have the support that Will Ospreay does from the Death Riders. I would love that in my life.
Let's see. Back in the ring, Shibata used the small distraction of Marina and Bowens kind of staring each other down to get in a low blow and then transition to an armbar. But Ospreay was able to escape that. He had a power bomb and a Styles Clash, and then followed that up with a vicious Hidden Blade of his own to the back of Shibata's neck and pinned him for the dub. We'll get into the post-match for all this in a second, because this was also a lot. But this was a good match, James, and I thought it was very smart to put Ospreay in the ring with a guy who is great at mat wrestling and submission wrestling, as Ospreay continues to learn that new style. I mean, it's got to be great learning from the guy who is literally called the Wrestler.
No, I completely agree. And who did he wrestle last week? That he won with the armbar?
Oh, it was your boy, Ace Austin.
Yes, it was Ace Austin. This felt like a very different match than the Ace Austin match. Like, we're seeing this development of Will Ospreay as this more grounded wrestler, this more tactical wrestler than we're used to seeing him be. And we saw the back and forth with him in Austin. That was, I don't want to say that was more high flying, because it was maybe more so for Austin than it was for Will, but it was a little more high octane.
Yeah, pinball.
This match was definitely slower, and that worked. Like, it served its purpose. And I'm glad that he didn't make Shibata tap. Not just because, I didn't want to see Shibata tap, but it's still showing Will has multiple ways to win. Just because he's adapting to a new style doesn't mean all the things that he used to do that would get him a win just don't work anymore. Right. So I like that he's proving to be a little bit of a Swiss Army knife.
Well, he's learning from Swiss Superman, so.
Yep. So I think this really works. And I really enjoyed this matchup. I'm surprised, like, when you said it, it made more sense and it clicked in my head. It's like, okay, this is the person to do it with Shibata. In my head, why not do this with Bowens instead? But I think it works better with, like, when you reasoned it out, it's like Shibata is one of the best and he's learning by being in the ring with him. It makes total sense to me. So really good match. I think this was the first official match of Collision. So yeah. I think it was a good way to keep people going into Collision. But yeah, man, these Collisions after Dynamites are rough.
Yeah, I think they did a decently smart thing by putting Will here. Yeah. Because, you know, as we were talking before with Grant, like, the energy level after this match really fell off.
Yeah.
Granted, no pun intended, there wasn't a whole lot to cheer after because, like I said, it was kind of just promos and squashes until the main event. But there was still a good chunk of energy following the Darby match, which is surprising. You think cool down match. Nope.
Yeah.
They put this match here, and the crowd was super duper into it. Charles saying it felt like a pay-per-view match. Ospreay seems like he's back in full form. He's getting there. And
he's getting there.
Yeah. And the different style, I think, is helping him a lot. And you can even see, just to go back to the Shibata thing really quick before I forget, those first few minutes, a lot of it was on the ground. They were grappling. Yeah. They were attempting, to get in submissions. Ospreay tried to get in a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, that's new from him.
Yep.
And he didn't properly get it in. Now, I don't know if that was because he just missed because he's learning this, or it was one of those. Yeah, or it was he tried, Shibata got out of it.
Yep.
And was able to counter. I don't know which one it was, but either way, it looks like the latter, and it works very well. So just I think it said on Blue Sky, just a sharp move from Tony.
Big time.
After the match, we had Samoa Joe's music, and he comes out onto the stage with a mic as the Death Riders celebrate Ospreay's win. They didn't come ringside, they just were celebrating, especially Garcia. Garcia is fucking Will's hype man.
He really has been.
Yeah,
it's like, especially because it seemed in the beginning he was a little like, show me what you got. And I was like, oh, you got it. Okay, I've seen what you got.
He called him Young Boy last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of been liking Daniel Garcia, Death Rider narrator, but it's fun. He finally, as the new guy, has a guy to kind of push around, which is probably why he's excited. But anyway, Joe with his mic says, we've once again got Will and his wonderful friends coming to the rescue. But Joe says he's not here for Ospreay, as he'll have him all to himself soon. He's just out here for his man's protection because that's what he does for his friends. But as we know, Ospreay decided not to be his friend. So on Sunday, he's going to do Will a favor and give him his dream match because he's going to put Will's ass to sleep. God, I love Joe. Ospreay then gets a mic himself and tells Joe that Sunday will be a dream come true for him, despite the fact that Joe is insisting this is a nightmare situation.
For backstory, guys, Will has gone on record for a long time and saying one of his dream matches is Samoa Joe. He's been looking forward to this match for a very long time.
Good for Will. I'm glad he actually gets it considering his situation, which is actually what Will gets into here. He says his nightmare situation is waking up on a Sunday morning next to his wife, look at her ass.
He didn't say look. He said grab.
Oh, he said grab? My bad.
Yeah.
look at his phone and see a whole bunch of people doubting him, saying he hasn't looked good or looked the same or looks out of state since
smaller.
Yeah, since his injury. And he goes, yeah, no shit. I had double neck fusion surgery. And 10 years ago, that would have been it for me. And I would have been the death of the aerial assassin. And considering everyone always chants Joe is going to kill you, how is Joe going to kill a man who's already died here in the ring? A year ago, he says he was so close, and then he nearly lost it all, and now it's stuck with him for a year. This year, the stakes are high because the winner of the Owen goes on to face the world champ at the biggest stadium in his country, and he gets to fulfill his both his country's dream and his, because it's not just the company on his back, it's a whole damn country. And then he says his nightmare died at the hands of the Death Riders, but they rebuilt him into a murderer, a killer, and the person he's been the entire time, an assassin. And then Sunday, he is going to take the first step to winning the AEW World Championship. So this was just a great back and forth. Obviously, Joe is the man. And then Will with one of the best promos we've heard from him in a while. I love this.
Yeah. No, I love, like, how do you kill what's already died in the ring? Loved it. I'd argue, as much as I enjoyed the match, I thought the promo was the truly memorable thing. I'm excited that we're getting to see this first time match between Will Ospreay and Samoa Joe. It's taking me back to the X Division days of old in TNA.
Yeah,
so,
I bet you it's going to be some callbacks in this upcoming match too.
I really need Will to try and hit a Styles Clash. It's not outside the realm. Like, he hits the Styles Clash. I want to see him try to hit it on Joe, and Joe being like, who the fuck do you think you're trying to hit this move on?
It's damn shame Will can't hit the spiral tap anymore, but because that would have been sick.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll break out some like really subtle AJ Styles move, or just go full blown like, phenomenal forearm.
Yeah, phenomenal forearm Styles Clash, and you got to honor Christopher Daniels too.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna see some fun stuff there. Yeah, I'm all for it. The one thing that I haven't been crazy about is, like, Joe has been saying, like, yeah, you've been the Death Rider's little lapdog. It's like, he hasn't really done shit for them. Like, he's training with them, but it's not like, oh man, they convinced him to do some bad stuff, or, oh man, he's been their errand boy, their bag boy. Like, no, it's just the dude just training with them.
Yeah.
So it just hasn't really rung true, and it's the one thing that I've been like, Joe's promos aren't usually like that.
Yeah, I think it slightly works, though, because Joe is the heel in this situation.
Yeah.
Because there is the kernel of truth where the Death Riders try to fucking kill you after we had your back fighting them for months. And now you're not only going to join them, but you're going to spurn our invitation to train with us, because we can not only offer you the same things, but better things, at least according to Joe, and his heel form here. So Joe being miffed and saying the things that aren't necessarily true in his warped head, they are.
Yeah. No, for sure. I do get how we got there.
Yeah.
I just wish that there was a little bit of, like, okay, he's got a point, and there is in the other factor to it. Like, I acknowledge that, but that one line hasn't really been working for me. Otherwise, just good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. And I also love Will too, is able to get a little, all right, pun intended here, cheeky in the middle of the promo while still keeping it incredibly serious. And that's honestly what he is best at when he is cutting a promo. Charles saying Mox might push Ospreay to the point where he will use the Tiger Driver again and complete his full assassin mindset. That's a possibility.
I think he's been more open to hitting the move in general. Like, I don't think he's where he was last year or like a year and a half ago, where he's like, I can't hit that move. It's like, it's hurting people. Like, no,
because there was the whole Bryan Danielson thing, and then he eventually hit it on, was it MJF?
He hit it on Fletcher too.
Oh yeah, on Fletcher as well. But he uses it sparingly. I think that's going to be one of those things where he hits it on Moxley to complete his training. And
I think it's his break glass in case of emergency move. He's not he's not afraid to use it, but he's not looking to hit it every match.
Yeah, he would much rather use the Hidden Blade or Storm Chaser or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Breaker or Chaser?
Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker. Too much Twister for me. All right. Following that great promo, we got another one, this time from Cope and Cage backstage. Hey, that rhymed. And Copeland says, he tells the story about them meeting in the 6th grade, and they found out they both were wrestling, and then they've been in each other's lives ever since they told each other they were going to become tag team champions, doing everything possible with each other, both in the ring and in their lives, through all the ups and downs, which leads him to get to the point where that they both know that this is real. And he also then says that they've been coming into our living rooms for over 30 years now, and we've watched them grow into men, and we've created this connection with us, the fans. And he says that on Sunday, FTR wants to kill that connection and destroy their tag team. So Copeland requests the best version of FTR, saying he needs to beat the version of that version of themselves so he can get revenge on them for dropping his wife on her head, and then force the best tag team in the world to say, I quit. Christian then gets up and he says that FTR has made, this is great from Christian, by the way, that FTR has made some questionable choices. And he's always said that when you're born, you look like your family. And when you die, you look like your choices.
I like that. That's a good line.
And because of those choices, they are going to fuck FTR up. Yeah, I love that line from Christian.
Yeah,
that was a good line. All right, keeping it rolling. We had Roosh versus TJ Crawford. This is another 40-second match for Roosh. I honestly fast-forwarded it through most of it.
There wasn't much to fast forward.
Yeah, I think he blindsided Crawford and then just beat him down in the corner and hit the horns and won.
Yeah.
And then after the mic, he again tells us that remember when you get the rest.
Yeah.
Following that, we got basically what was another squash, which was Divine Dominion versus Kayla Lopez and El Valentine.
I enjoyed this one a little bit more.
This was they've been running this 5-minute tag team championship eliminator matches. This one, it was cool. I like Renee was there to do her ringside reporting, and they kind of just went over to her and towered over Renee for a second. Yep. And then Lena interrupted her at some point, and she was just like, "All right, let's see how this one's gonna last."
Wait. Hold up. No, that was what she was saying. No more talking. Shush.
Yeah. Anyway, Cross and Bane won this with about 2:10 left on the clock. They hit the double choke slam for the dub after they destroyed these women. And as commentary continued to say, it only went that long because they wanted it to go that long. Cross did a lot of the heavy lifting, both literally and figuratively, and they just kicked these women's ass. But it's been very strong showings here for Divine Dominion in these matches. Charles saying Cope still didn't digest their attack on Beth. Maybe we get hints towards her appearance at the pay-per-view.
I mean, I would love to have her back. Yeah, I'd love to have her back.
I would absolutely pop. And Charles also saying Roosh is going for the title, which explains his recent push, it seems. Yeah, that's been my thing. And obviously, we talked about before, he did call out Darby if he wins. I just hope I don't want to call it prediction, but my idea doesn't happen from last week where Darby wins and then drops the title on Wednesday to Roosh.
I would be
you would be incensed, I think
I would be
the
pissed.
Proper word.
Yeah. I just don't think Roosh is there.
Yeah, I concur. I really thought he was going to be in this run of challengers.
Yeah. And
he hadn't done it yet. So that's why, seriously, the fact that they're setting that up kind of leads me to think Darby might has a good chance of winning.
Yeah. Maybe.
We'll end up seeing.
Who knows?
See, Chris adding Bane and Cross to his list of favorite AEW stars along with the Triangle of Madness. Yeah, we've talked about this on the pod before. We met Bane and Cross after their match in House of Glory a few years ago.
Lena's going to be at House of Glory this Friday.
Oh, hell yeah. We've been big fans ever since. So they're good. They're good people to be fans of. And they're way nicer in real life, not to break kayfabe. They're just absolutely wonderful people. All right, now we get to the main event of Collision, and the last thing we have to cover, which was FTR versus the Conglomeration's Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. to cover this quickly, Stokely at one point got involved as Dax tried to let Stoke hit Orange with the watch he stole from Christian, but Orange was able to duck that and then forced Dax to run into Stokely, and that knocked him off of the apron. Orange then hit his Stun Dog Millionaire and went for the Orange Punch, but he got caught with a Shatter Machine instead, and that forced Roddy to break it up. And then all four men were down for a second, but Roddy was able to get back up, and he took Cash out of the ring, but he kind of took himself out in the process, so they were both on the outside, and that led to Dax and Orange one-on-one. Dax got to his feet first, but Orange was able to kind of hold him off and get to his knees and put his hands in his pockets in response to that. So Dax got Orange to his feet, hit him with a couple of uppercuts, but Cassidy was able to counter with a backslide and force Dax to kick out. Orange then got the rear waist lock onto Dax. I assume he was trying to maybe set up for a beach break or something, but Dax got in a standing switch, and he sent Orange towards the ropes. Now, as this is happening, Paul Turner, the referee, is way out of position. So Orange is heading right for Turner. So Turner decides, oh, I got to tuck and run. So he moves towards the corner and literally sticks his head through the ropes like an ostrich sticking his head into the sand. And that allows Stokely to jump up and punch Orange in the face with the watch as he, his momentum carries him through the ropes. And then Dax, instead of even rolling Orange up, just kind of watched as Orange stumbled backwards and fell. Yep. And then he pinned Orange, and FTR was able to retain their titles. So we kind of talked about this at certain points throughout the night, James. So this is a good match. It was a fun match, but we kind of knew it was going to happen considering the Big I Quit match coming up on Sunday, and B, everyone was exhausted by the time this came on. So yeah. I don't want to take away for the match itself, which was very good. These guys have very good chemistry with the Conglomeration. So did like the fact there was a lot of black and gold in there as well.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if FTR ever really crossed over with the Undisputed Era. Not too much off the top of my head. But still, this was a good match and a nice way to close things out before we head to Sunday.
Oh, yeah. No, in a vacuum, this was a fun match. In a vacuum, I enjoyed that this match existed and happened. It's just one, like we said, it was so late in the night. Two, we knew how it was going to play out with the titles and the bigger match that's happening on Sunday. So we knew, so it sucked the wind out of it a little bit. I had fun with it. Roddy is a very good tag wrestler. Like, I know that shouldn't sound like some revelation because it's not, but for a guy who's so good at what he does and is known primarily for being a singles wrestler majority of his career, it's fascinating to see how good he is in a tag. And beyond just chemistry with Orange, how good he is in multi-man situations. Like, he's got this one spot that he hits in either triple threats or in tag matches where he kind of makes the other two collide with one another. And it always looks stiff, but it always looks freaking great. And he did it tonight with FTR, so that was fun. There was one point where Roddy broke up a pin, and the camera was initially of the ring, and I see him in the corner, and I'm like, okay, he's going to go break up the pin. And then as the pin's happening, they do a close-up, and it gets so close to the 3 count that I guess, okay, Roddy was out of position. He shouldn't have been in the ring. But then he breaks it up at like 2.9999.
That might have been the Shadow Machine.
Maybe. And it was so good. The timing was perfect. And just excellent work from all 4 men. I am so sick of Stoke. I'm just so sick of Stoke.
Well, I'm assuming he's going to get his comeuppance on Sunday, especially considering he's still carrying Christian's watch.
Yeah.
So he's going to get his taint handed to him. I wouldn't worry about that.
We can only hope.
Yeah. I would say the 4 of the guys in the ring had a good night. Paul Turner, the 5th man in the ring, according to the crowd, did not.
Yep.
There was a lot of ref you suck chants throughout this match. And considering the fact that his non-involvement led to the ending. Yeah, rough night from Paul there. Shake it off, bud. Get ready for Sunday.
To quote a great criminal, that ref was trying to fuck on them.
Yes, he was. This is all kayfabe, by the way. You did great, Paul. Let's see. Charles saying, I thought there was going to be more intervention. AEW, often so close to their go-home shows, have some more brawls.
I think like interference.
Yeah. In terms of Cope and Cage coming out. As Grant was saying earlier, it seems like they came out afterwards and probably drove FTR off. So I think that was probably more meant for the in-arena audience as opposed to us. I'm not super surprised that they didn't do it, but I can understand
We've seen them go at it so often at this point. No need.
Yeah. And you got the promo from them earlier. I think that was more than enough. Maria called this excellent action, and I agree with that.
I'd agree.
Real quick side note, I did check. I just Googled the Revival versus Undisputed Era. We got a tag title match from them.
Okay.
Maybe a couple, but there was a Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly versus FTR. Though at least the one on Cage Match has it at a 5.6. I'm rounding.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to find there was another one somewhere because somebody's calling one of the match of the year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, let me see if those
We
are
don't
the same
remember.
one. Yeah, because there was one on November 2019, which is the one I'm looking at. Yeah, and then I think there might have been another once at a different point. But either way, I think it was for the tag title, so it happened. But it wasn't. It was Fish and O'Reilly, like I mentioned. So it wasn't Roddy. But all right, that was all 3 hours of Dynamite and Collision. And despite its length, James, I thought this was a really good go-home show. We had a lot happen. We had some good title matches. We had MJF running around like a scalded dog, which is great. And then and anything that needed to like really be polished out and set up before Sunday happened. Obviously, we have the bad news with Willow, but other than that, thought this was a great show. Kept me captivated pretty much throughout the night, which is saying a lot for 3 hours.
No, I'd agree. The 3 hours is tough on a Wednesday. And again, the structuring of how they do it with Dynamite into Collision sometimes hurts it, in my opinion. But overall, the sum of the parts, like it was strong. The bones of these two shows were strong. I thought the first hour was great. I thought Darby and Speedball was great. And I'm really, really looking forward to Sunday. Beyond the fact that we're going to be there, I think it's just going to be a great night of action.
Yeah, I cannot agree more. Like, I'm super hyped to go, but like, even if I wasn't going, I would be super hyped for this card. And I'm also super hyped for the crowd. Or, I mean, I would be super hyped if I was watching it on TV. I'm a little nervous that the lines are going to be like they were for the first Grand Slam.
We have to get there early.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not even worried about walking in. I'm worried about concessions.
Yeah.
Walking in is going to be bad either way.
Well, you just need to get all your shit early and just be like, you plop. Yeah. Grab the equivalent of a bucket and sit down for the rest of the night.
Yeah. I think they might limit you to 2 at a time. But yeah, if you are going and you went to the first Grand Slam or any of them and you saw how limited Arthur Ashe's concessions were, especially at the first one with the lines, Louis Armstrong is smaller. So, and I think there's less. So pray to God they open up shit outside.
Well, they've got 14,000 people, 14,000 tickets sold for this.
Yeah, this
is a sellout.
And it's damn near a full sellout too, because AEW is kind of going WWE style, no Trons.
Yeah.
No tall Trons. So the majority of that's why we were a little confused looking at the seating chart. That's why there's nothing tarped off behind where the entrance ramp's going to be, because they sold all those seats. So it's going to be nuts. But it's going to be a lot of fun. At least the wrestling is. So as we mentioned, if you're there and you see us, come say hi. We are always happy to meet you guys in person and to chop it up with y'all. All right, last 2 things here. Charles saying Cole is missed in reference to Undisputed everything. Too bad about his injury. Yeah, it sucks, man. I really wish, he was around board. But hey, maybe with the New Day coming in, we can get, Chugs back. Yeah, get the party going. Along with Viva Uno, which would be a lot of fun. And Chris saying only 9 matches at Double or Nothing. Only. Yeah, but it's too bad as compared to,
It's going to be a long night.
Yeah, and they haven't even announced anything really for the pre-show as far as I know. So it'll probably be closer to 12.
Yeah.
So don't worry. You're going to get enough bang for your buck. No pun intended. All right. On that note, I would like to thank everyone so much for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. Appreciate it if you like, subscribe. If you like the video, let us know that you're enjoying what we're doing here on the show, and we can keep doing it. And if you subscribe, you can get all the great stuff here on the channel. You got the Gym Pack Zone on Thursdays. Matt covered Monday Night Raw, which ended up being great because there was a surprising return. So you can go check out his video there. He did a good job with it. He doesn't do every Monday, but when he does, it's usually an important one. And we will be back here on Wednesday for Dynamite after the pay-per-view. We might try to cover the pay-per-view. Obviously, we're not going to be able to do it that Sunday night, but maybe Monday or Tuesday, we'll see how our schedules look. And maybe we could talk to you guys about it a couple of days after. But other than that, we try to cover as many pay-per-views as we possibly can because we try to watch as many pay-per-views as we possibly can because we're slightly addicted to wrestling. I don't think they have rehab for that, but we can always try.
No, Maria, I'm actively catching up now. Say nothing.
Okay, no, you have not. I honestly haven't really watched the Socials first season. I lost Prime there for a while, and I just wasn't able to. Speaking of going to Double or Nothing, check us out on all our social media stuff. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Twitter. We will do our best to be posting from the show. Matt's going to be there, so I'm sure he'll be all over the place with that, and he'll help us do it since he is our Instagram guy. So be sure to check out the Instagram. I'll bet you a lot of stuff will be on there. I'll probably be shooting out a couple of Blue Sky posts.
I'll try and tweet for us.
Yeah. Well, I was going to, they call them skeets, and I didn't want to say shooting out skeets.
Yeah, please don't.
But too late now. But yeah, we'll be probably posting all over the place live from the show. So be sure to follow us so you guys can at least get some of our opinions while we're there. And then you can also, chop it up with us while we're watching the show.
So you guys know what that means. Follow us on all the social medias.
Yep.
Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook.
Yeah, get some behind the scenes
TikTok.
From the pod.
Yeah.
Not from the show, but from the pod. Yeah, and then if you're watching over on Facebook and you want to follow us on some other places, Twitter's at marketdown_pod. Instagram is at marketdownpod. YouTube.com/@marketdownpod or /marketdown3665. I believe both still work. Marketdownpod.bsky.social if you happen to hang out over there. James, any last thing before we get out of here?
I'm planning on showing up for Gym Pack tomorrow, so we'll talk then.
Gym Pack.
And just excited for Double or Nothing on Sunday.
Yeah. Will we be going live on Instagram? Probably not, but occasionally.
Our stories will be active, so feel free to comment on our stories as we're doing it. We will definitely be responding as fast as possible. It's usually Matt and I on Instagram, so we will be paying attention. Okay.
Yeah. And the US Open. Yep, technically tonight.
Yeah.
US Open also has decent Wi-Fi, so we should be okay there.
Yeah.
All right. So for James Jasanti, my name is Nick Cummings. Thank you so much for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. We all hope you all have a fun and safe Memorial Day weekend for those of you here in the States. But until next time, have a good one, everyone.